All right, good morning. Today we're going to make a bracket for this decathlon. I didn't get a good picture of it before I took the cowling off, but any of these American champion Citabria decathlons frequently open the oil access door, and this baffle is pushed back. So a common modification I do for those is I make a bracket, I attach to the cylinder head here, I run back and attach here. So we're going to make one for this Super Decathlon today, and I'll show you how I usually do it. Okay, here's some various scrap angle pieces that I have in my little scrap bucket here. You can use something like that, but generally what I use is a piece of tubing. Now I don't have a scrap piece, I got a nice long piece here, so I'm going to cut this short, and we're going to flatten the end of this to make this a 90-degree turn to attach to the baffle, and then we'll measure how much length we need before we flatten another end, or we're going to drill a hole and put the fastener through. Now this is just about 3/8 diameter tubing. This might be a little on the small side. I should go see if I have something bigger. I ended up not having anything in a larger diameter, but this other piece is a little thicker wall, so we're going to utilize that and see if this works. Okay, it's really hard to use two hands and film something at the same time, but I just took my little ball peen hammer here and beat that tab a little bit. You know, no particular measurement. I'm going to clean this edge up. I'm going to round off the corners. I'm going to sand things and smooth things over. And then we're going to put a 90-degree bend in this guy. This is the tab that's going to attach to the baffle. Okay, it took me less than a minute since my last little clip to do that. I just took that to the grinder there, cleaned up the edge, and I just put the tab in the vise there and bent that over. I didn't quite bend it 90 degrees yet. That gives me a little more room to bend it as I fit it. You don't want to bend it forward and back. You fatigue that aluminum quick and it will eventually crack. And I've built these before and they last a number of years and then they develop a crack, but you know, they sort of do their job for a long time. So let's keep going. We'll go figure out how much longer we need to cut that. Okay, you can start to see sort of how this is going to go. I'm going to make a little mark there with my Sharpie, and then off camera I'll get in there and I'll use a tape measure and I'll take a couple measurements so I make sure I do this right. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Okay, you can see my little blue Sharpie marks there. I've measured that where I want, and I'm using my tubing cutter to cut this guy down. I'm giving myself a little extra room on the tail. I can always grind that down later. Okay, you can see I took the cylinder head end and I went and smashed it just the same. You can see we're getting pretty close there on size. So I'm going to have to measure and mark and drill my hole, and then I'm going to have to cut this tab a little bit to stay clear of that valve cover. But we are certainly in the ballpark. All right, that tab fits. I'm going to go drill this hole first for the cylinder head, and we can fit that in next. Okay, I got my fastener in here. Fortunately, I didn't have a new one in stock, so I took a used one and I cleaned it up. And I got new washers here. I used the step bit to drill my hole. I used this 1/4-inch drill bit to ream the fit, and then I use the step drill to clean up the edges. I used it as sort of as like a deburring tool. So there are no sharp edges. I have yet to sand this. This is strike marks from the hammer. We'll smooth that out a little bit. We'll make it pretty once we get it all done. So let's go put it on the airplane. Hey, look at that. Fits pretty good there on that end. So we need to go drill a hole and put a fastener in that. This side looks like it's pretty close to the valve cover, so we can maybe clean that up. So let's go, we'll go attach this guy, and then we'll make a decision for the engine side. Okay, so we're gonna drill this hole, so it's pretty easy. We're gonna put that fastener hole pretty much right in the middle there, and there are no issues with it hitting anything. There's no fasteners or anything, so we'll put a hole there, and then that'll give us a guide hole to how to drill on there. So let's get this off and go drill it. Okay, I drilled my hole here after marking it. Drilled it here. I deburred it on both sides. So now we can go clean up our part and install it. Okay, I got the part cleaned up and finalized. I've got everything in loose. I'm going to tighten everything down and we'll see how it fits. Okay, that looks done. It is in tight. This feels good. I used a 632 R9 length screw. I could probably use a shorter screw. I also put the screw in this orientation so that when you reach your hand in the oil door, there isn't the tail of a screw or nut sitting there to maybe snag and hurt you. So I figured putting the screw in that way would be best. I've also done these where I drilled out this rivet on the baffle, put a notch in the silicone baffle and attached it there. The reason I didn't want to do that again is this bar was really close to the cowling in that one installation, and so I figured it's safer just to throw it in here and get it out of the way of the cowling potential. So anyway, that all looks good. As an A&P, I can approve this as a minor alteration, and I'll make a logbook entry stating so, and that guy is done. Now, this is pretty common one I'll make on these American Champion Decathlon Citabrias. The baffles sort of frequently crack, and I've done beef up brackets here, and same with back here. This guy, although it's steel, it's kind of wimpy in this area, and then these guys tend to crack and loosen up. So keep an eye on those, and you can modify them just the same. And anyway, hope that was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.